Hi everyone, it has been 1 year on YouTube, and in today's video we're going to celebrate together. I'm going to share the ups and the downs, the projects that made it and the projects that didn't. I want to start by first giving thanks. If it weren't for the strength and the guidance I receive every single day from my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I won't be here. And He's also blessed me with great support.
You guys would have seen my husband in most of my videos. He's been helping me with basically everything. Going to the store, repairing furniture, putting up light fixtures, cutting wood, the list goes on. He's very handy and I've learned a lot from him. And as with any new venture, it can be both emotionally and physically challenging at times. So having him there to encourage me and support me is everything. Also behind the scenes are my mom who lives with us, my daughter who adds her artistic skills whenever she's here from college, my bonus son who is always helping us with anything we need, and of course my little one whose fingers and toes appear in almost every video.
And last but certainly not the least are you guys. I am deeply grateful for you guys being here, watching my videos, commenting, and just giving me the support. If it weren't for you, I probably would have given up already. My favorite project I would have to say is our laundry room makeover. That took a couple months to get done and there were a lot of moving parts in bringing it all together. Apart from it being the most extreme transformation, making over that laundry really improved our day-to-day living. It had become quite a mess, full of clutter and a catch-all for everything.
Since we don't have a garage, we need all the storage we can get. We had a friend build the frame of the big cabinet and thrifted the rest.
And we made the countertop ourselves. I used the peel and stick tile on the floor, and it being 1 year later, it really has held up well. And we've had a few mishaps with water in there and it has not affected that tile one bit. That space actually has the access to the attic, so making that entry point more accessible was very important. And that has become one of our favorite spaces. It just has such a clean, fresh feel, and doing laundry in there doesn't feel like a burden at all. Okay, so the projects that never made it to you guys. When we first started, I think the first project we did was this bedroom makeover. One of the main things that I wanted to do was the lampshades that I had in here. I wanted to keep them. I still have those lamps. I love them, but I wanted to update the lampshade.
So my daughter and I did this project together. This was going to be our first DIY decor project on the channel. We looked at quite a few YouTube videos on how to measure and cut fabric to cover lampshades. Went over to Hobby Lobby and picked up some really beautiful fabric, and while we were there, I got the spray adhesive. The best part about this project was the time we actually spent together doing it, because it certainly wasn't the end result. There's my mom in the background watching this whole charade go down.
It was a fun project. We did it together. It was pretty exciting, but I made a huge mistake. After researching the type of glue that I needed to use, I knew exactly what I was supposed to use. But for some reason, when I was in Hobby Lobby that day, I just saw a spray can that said glue and I just used that one. I just picked that up. And it looked nice, but after a few days, it started to really just come apart. I don't know if I took a picture of it coming apart. If I did, I'll show it to you guys. I'm gonna look back and see if I did take a picture, but it started to like just kind of come apart. I discovered that the glue, the adhesive I was using, is really the adhesive you use when you're stenciling. So that is and if you know what that is, it's a very light glue. It's not really intended to adhere, because when you're doing stenciling, You put the glue just to kind of keep the stencil in place while you fill it in, and then you remove it. So it's really not intended to bond per se, but I was spraying that thing and spraying that thing. It was everywhere, on everything, and those lamps were a complete failure. Well, the lampshades. That was quite eventful because we did spend quite a bit of time on it and it was a fail. The other thing that never made it into a video was, this was pretty hilarious. When I was working on my dining room table and chairs, I discovered that we had a paint sprayer in our shed. When I asked my husband about it, where did it come? It was a Wagner paint sprayer. And when I asked my husband, he said he had borrowed that from his dad when we were building a new fence some time ago. So excited to use this sprayer. This was gonna save me so much time. It was going to be the thing that was gonna make these chairs really stand out.
And here's what happened. I loaded it up, strained the paint, and went ahead to testing it on some Amazon boxes. On the first try, my heart leaped, but only for about half a second. It started sprouting out like everywhere, as though it was throwing up, and this happened even a few seconds after I stopped spraying. So I tried again. This time I was able to spray a little bit more, but it just kept sprouting out again and again. And what did I do next? I tried again. Same thing. Now at this point, I think any normal person would quit, and that's what I should have done. But no, not me. I turned the board around and tried again. I had a longer run this time, but there we go. Splatter, splatter, splatter. Looking back at this footage made me laugh and really admire the determination. I couldn't even believe how many times I tried this without realizing this was not going to work. Here I am looking at it, still thinking you have to work. So now with black paint everywhere, my hands, the grass, everywhere, guess what I did next? Yep, I tried again. I think at this point I decided to go grab my husband. Whoops, no I didn't. I came back with another piece of cardboard to try it again. And there we are, splatter, splatter, splatter. I give up. No I didn't. I just kept going.
When I look back at this clip, I could see how determined I knew I was determined to get this done, but it's just amazing looking at yourself and knowing what you were thinking in that moment. I was so determined to finish these chairs. Just kept trying. As much as it failed, I kept doing it because I was intentional that this was going to work. It failed so many times. I wasted a quart of General Finishes lamp black, which is not cheap, an entire quart. I just kept doing it because I was sure it was gonna work, and that was pretty hilarious. The next morning I went and bought myself a brand new sprayer, and the rest is history. Okay, so failed projects. So while we're on the topic of that sprayer, that project was the first project I used the sprayer on. For it being the first time that I was using that sprayer, the chairs did come out really well. The failure happened on the dining table. I had done a faux wood finish on the top, finished it off with the top coat using the sprayer. Now that sprayer has quite a learning curve. It has been about a year now that I've been using it, and so I've been able to tweak it exactly, to put the settings exactly where I need it now to get the finishes that I want depending on the product that I'm using. And that's something that you learn with time, because those settings are adjusted based on the thickness of the product or the material that you're using. The setting for latex paint is going to be different to the setting for chalk paint because viscosity is different, the thickness is different, and so the setting for something like a top coat, which is like a very runny product, is going to be very, very different to paint. And so over time, I've learned what those settings need to be for me to get a good finish. But using that top coat on that dining table did not work out after some time. I noticed it like immediately within the first week when the light would hit the table at certain angles. I could see that it was blotchy. I did try hand painting it after and doing different things. But it was already messed up. I would have had to sand it down and start it over to really get a nice finish. I'm just going to continue with all the other projects that I have to get done, and I'll swing back to that dining table at some point. So of course there were some challenges. Nothing good comes without challenges. It's how you know that you're growing and you're improving. It's a way to measure where you start and where you end. So those are always good to have. I think I had two main challenges to overcome, and I'm still working on getting over those challenges. One of which I have control over, the other I don't. The first one is doing this, just being in front of the camera and being able to articulate my ideas in a way that you guys could enjoy it. This has been my biggest challenge, and I'm still working on it, and I guess the more I do it, the more comfortable I'm becoming. Anyways, I'm working on it. The other challenge that I had to overcome was the weather. Here in South Florida, the weather is unpredictable. We have rain and we have very hot summers. When it comes to the furniture flips, I work outside in my back patio. It is not an enclosed space, although it is covered, but the change of weather does kind of inhibit my freedom to work, more so because of the heat. And I enjoy doing it, but when it started to get really hot here, I did not enjoy doing the furniture at all because I couldn't be outside for more than 10 or 15 minutes. This channel really is a virtual diary of the DIY projects I was already doing around my own home. The actual channel and the videos started coming in September last year, but I had already done so many projects and I did record most of them, so I had a lot of content that I started with. So initially when I started, I thought that most of my videos were going to be around the room makeovers and the DIY decor and the shopping videos. The furniture flips and the thrifting videos were kind of birthed within that year, and you guys seem to really love those, so I started doing a little bit more of the furniture flips, and I think those are my most viewed videos. The thrifting is actually something that's brand new. I had never really been into thrifting before. My daughter kind of got me started with it. She wanted to do it and I went with her, and I really enjoy doing that. It's almost like an adult treasure hunt, and so I enjoy it. I don't do it for like clothing and that type of thing, but I do enjoy taking home decor and doing something to it to kind of make it a little more modern or just give it new life. Since I started doing more of the furniture flips, I took part in two challenges. One was on Instagram and one was here on YouTube. The one on YouTube was the $100 challenge, where you had to flip a piece of furniture and only spend $100 or less. And the person that spent the least amount of money won the challenge. And so I won the challenge. So that was pretty exciting. That was fun to be a part of. Coffee gives me inspiration. I'm just kidding. It's only how I get started in the morning. I think I get most of my inspiration from Our House and Lulu and Georgia. Those are my top two. Apart from that, I really like McGee & Co, Crate & Barrel. I also get inspired by other YouTubers that are in my niche. When it comes to furniture flips, I really love Modern Makeovers. You guys should check out that channel. He is amazing. It is a guy from Ontario, Canada. He does furniture flips. His creativity and his editing skills are beyond amazing. And I really like Angie over at Transcend Furniture Gallery. She's extremely knowledgeable when it comes to different types of wood and how to treat with each type of wood. I think she has so much knowledge when it comes to that. I leave learning something new every single time I watch her videos. When it comes to camera presence, I truly love Lone Fox and McKenna. I love them together. I watch their videos every week. It's just very enjoyable. They're so relatable, and I love how they are in front of the camera. So that inspires me to try to be a little bit more in front of the camera. When it comes to interior design, I really love Kristen McGowan. The way she puts her videos together, I love the way she presents it, how she gets the point across very simply, and I admire that. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed taking a look back with me and celebrating a year of learning and growing, and I look forward to continuing to bring you guys content that you enjoy. And I hope when I edit this video that it is not too long. Always conscious of it being too long because I don't want to lose you, the viewer. And I hope you guys are here next week. I will be taking part in the Ugly Duckling Challenge. I have been working on this project for a few weeks now, and I've had my handy husband helping me along with it, and I'm very excited about that one. So I appreciate your support. I hope you come back here next week. Thank you for being here. I so appreciate you guys for watching, especially those that leave a comment on every video. That is how I know exactly who you are. If you don't comment, I don't know who you are. I can see what country you live in, and it's pretty amazing to see so many countries viewing, but I don't know specifically who you are unless you leave a comment.